Bill Burr, or Burr, I'm honestly not sure.
Bill Burr's comedic persona is the loud, overconfident guy at the end of the bar. He fearlessly voices exactly what is on his mind, whether he is on daytime television or sitting across the table from you. However,
Honestly, for a comedian, that's not that special. Most comedians are self-confident. In fact, it's actually hard to find a comedian that's not self-confident in himself, at least to a certainly high degree. Because this is just basic human nature, honestly. We tend to not want to listen to people who are not self-confident. If someone's being there in the corner, talking very, very, very low and shaking, we're not going to listen to that person, probably. But if you're loud, boisterous, and the attention of the whole room, people are going to listen to you.
Bill cannot be dismissed as some blue-collar loudmouth drunk. He is highly educated and will accurately expose your insecurities. These are some of the people who have been trolled, intimidated, and dismantled by the gab of Bill Burr, starting with Theo Von, one of the sweetest and most beloved comedians who was robbed of his charm. In 2019, Theo Von invited Bill to be on his This Past Weekend podcast. At this point in his career, Theo was just starting to become a household name. However, Bill wasn't very familiar with his material nor his fan base, which set the conversation off to a weird start. Theo was a huge
Hey, I have seen this. I'm pretty sure I have seen this. Or maybe he has been on the podcast multiple times. But I think I remember this t-shirt. And then the black... I think I have seen this. This wasn't horrible. Huh.
fan of Bill, and naturally started picking Bill's brain about the comedy and entertainment industry. So from the beginning, they established a hierarchy where Theo seems like an aspiring comic looking for advice.
I was just like experiencing like a ton of stress, man, burnt out. You know, I've been on the same tour for this hour for almost over a year now.
You got to toughen up, man.
Yeah, you're right, huh?
You know,
what do I do?
Camouflage hat, looking like a fucking backwoods guy, all tough and shit. You can't handle doing your hour again. I mean, come on, man, suck it up.
Bill probably had a hard time relating to Theo's mental health struggles since he grew up around blue-collar Boston men who worked themselves into an early grave. Then again, this was just harmless ball busting. But
Theo grew around people who robbed stores. Well, I don't know if that's actually 100% accurate, but that kind of summarizes what his growing up was like. It wasn't exactly, you know... it wasn't full of luxury, let's just put it like that.
But an early sign of what was about to come.
I just think I have a tough time working with other people sometimes, you know? I just think...
Well, I would say get over that. Get over yourself and get over that, because there's a lot of great people in this business, and you're going to miss out. And, I don't know.
No,
you know what?
I
You'll
totally
say
respect that.
your loved ones will save money on the funeral costs because no one's going to go, so there's not going to be too many snacks they got to put together.
Well... He's talking about one thing and then he kind of goes for a joke he doesn't finish. I think I have seen this. In general, I mean, these clips kind of seems like, I don't know, not you know, not purely bro to bro, but I think I have seen this in general. It wasn't that awkward. Maybe there's an awkward moment, I remember, but I mean, even this is not that bad.
You could see Bill was about to be more serious with Theo, but then paused and decided to defer to a silly joke. That wouldn't last.
She'd have a rough day and she'd come in. And
I don't remember the whole show.
I can explain it to you.
Yeah.
I can explain it to you.
Okay.
This guy just, I don't know what that is. All right.
No, I believe it.
I'm not into it. I don't want to hear it. I got it. Your show. Go ahead.
All right, let's talk about old shows then.
We don't have to.
Patty Duke. What about...
Well, that's a bit more awkward, for sure.
Me feel like an asshole, like that was the 15th time I fucking brought it up.
Bill is becoming increasingly agitated with him, but Theo is making a huge mistake here. Theo is known for his airheaded yet poetic thoughts about life. He also speaks exactly what is on his mind, but it feels like the intrusive thoughts of someone with more heart than brains. Theo keeps switching in and out of being serious and being funny, making it difficult for Bill to riff with him. They both can't decide when the other person is making a joke or being serious, and by the end, Theo felt defeated, and Bill could sense it.
What about the Nice Guys? Oh, you got to see that.
Oh, what's the Nice Guys?
No, I don't know. I think you're looking down. You got your jaw out. You got your jaw. It's very confrontation. I'm feeling like you're not liking my suggestions. You just like you like the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This guy's dead.
I think I have seen this, and I'm not sure if I have seen this episode, but I have definitely seen something like this, and every time it goes something like this, and then they save it at the end. Well, not at the end, but it goes a little bit. You feel it's gonna become really, really awkward here, but it doesn't, and then it's saved.
Dead to me. He's dead to me.
This was like watching two guys having to hang out because their wives are friends. This is what it looks like when your two cool friends meet for the first time and don't hit it off like you thought. Bill said he had a great time, but fans provided empathy for Theo since they know he is humble and vulnerable. They could tell he was disappointed with himself, and Theo addressed the pod a few days later.
He was Bill Burr to a T. He's brash. He's poignant.
Well, that does prove that, everything wasn't super smooth. But I think I have seen it, and it's not the most super awkward thing in the universe. Yeah. I think that person who commented said it really well. It's like two wives, husbands need to get along, but they don't hit it off or something like that. Yeah, that kind of seems like it. Well, at least from the clips.
He's exact.
But it definitely doesn't seem that bad.
He really is like a NASA, like a rocket, and I'm more like sometimes like Phil Armstrong, You find me just kind of moseying around on the moon. Monitoring how I feel.
You see, Bill only gets serious when you make him. Sometimes it's better to just sit back and let him beat you up a little bit. Like how Joe Rogan did after Bill absolutely dismantled him.
I want people to walk down the street.
Wait, that's it? About the Theo stuff? I don't know. Even if the clips didn't take absolutely anything out of context, I feel that this was like a 5 out of 10 in the awkward scale. It doesn't seem like it went super, super awkward, right? Or am I just making this up? I can't even tell. I feel that this wasn't awkward at all, honestly. Slightly, yeah, but did it go too far in the awkwardness? Nah.
With a mask on?
Let's not start this, Joe.
Do you, though?
Let's not start this.
But before Rogan gets humbled by Bill, a quick word from our sponsor, Aura. Are you tired of receiving those spam calls from unknown numbers all day?
Oh.
I know I am.
Yeah, I remember what Aura is. Don't buy it. It's an absolute waste of money. Like most YouTube sponsorships, if we're being completely real. Hey, you can use the code PatrickCC if you want to waste money, but hey, you're wasting money. Aura is like fighting a windmill, if they actually even do, honestly, anything. I have never heard anyone actually talk about them removing stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you want to use it, go ahead, but
The description below. Thanks, Aura.
Okay.
Let's start it.
I don't want to start this bullshit. I'm not going to sit here with no medical degree, listening to you with no medical degree, with an American flag behind you, smoking a cigar, acting like we know what's up. I just love how wearing a mask became like this like soft thing that you were doing, like being courteous. Being courteous. Why is it for bitches? That was so stupid.
First of all,
oh God, you're so tough with your open nose and throat. Gee, Joe, and your 5 o'clock shadow. This is a man right here.
He often reminds people it's okay to laugh at themselves. Making fun is
was there some kind of edit or something?
His way of showing love towards someone. A perfect example of this is Bill's endless jokes.
Wait, what? Did we just magically skip a little bit? Or is that it?
God, you're so tough with your open nose and throat. Gee, Joe, and your 5 o'clock shadow. This is a man right here.
He often reminds.
Oh, there's some kind of edit. He removed something there. Yeah, this is inside YouTube edit. That's interesting. But anyway, yeah, the Joe Rogan situation doesn't seem bad at all, honestly. Even if it's gonna get bad, Joe's laughing it off like an absolute pro, and doesn't seem, again, like this is if the Theo situation was a 5 out of 10, I don't know, but what we saw in this clip, this seems like a 2 out of 10.
people it's okay to laugh at themselves. Making fun is his way of showing love towards someone. A perfect example of this is Bill's endless jokes towards Cowherd, who hosted a sports radio show on ESPN. Him and Bill are great friends, which is why Colin knows to just laugh when Bill is sending shots his way.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
Giant desk.
Not bad.
When guys come and sit on the couch, I go right after them. Do you respect me for that?
No, I don't. You big dumb desk hiding behind your microphone.
And don't even think about asking Bill a dumb question.
You're in your comedy prime right now. Like this is, you got about 8 years left.
How do you judge that?
Because your energy level is high, you're nimble. I mean, dude.
And what do you do? I'm not like an athlete. I'm gonna blow out an Achilles and I can't write a joke anymore.
Like I said, Colin knows how to laugh it off and remain in good spirits. But some people think Bill is...
That wasn't that also. Huh. Am I the only one who's looking at this and currently thinking, wait, none of this is really that bad?
Is actually the insecure one. Sometimes a harmless question is asked and Bill is the one who takes it the wrong way.
Bill, are you the head writer on the show, or how do you work in the writers' room on the show? Because you write your
Netflix show? Oh, was this some kind of disaster? Frank don't give. Okay. What is this? I haven't heard about it, but it's it's Netflix, so my instantaneous assumption is it's shit. Also, the context of the video in the past 10 seconds. But, the truth is, for every one show that Netflix does and it's actually not garbage, they do 1,000 that are absolutely unwatchable shit. That's the truth.
stand-up specials. Obviously you're a writer, but you've never really written on a sitcom before. If you go through your credits, you hadn't really been on a show before.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Just right out of the gate, he goes negative. Never really saw you write on anything before, Bill.
Ooh.
There was all these other nice things on your IMDb.
Yeah, this is definitely Insecurity. Look at this. Okay? So, he has his shoulders, he pulls it in. He has his leg that he pulls also in, okay? One of the inherent thing that people do in nature when they don't want to be talked about, when they don't want to be noticed, when they don't want to be asked anything, they make themselves have less space. And, they touch themselves. For example, the leg touch. That is all self-soothing behavior in psychology, okay? And comparing to these other situations, like, look at this. Look at this. The Joe Rogan one. Look at that! He's taking so much space, and this is also... Yeah, look at this. Also, the Theo one. When people are confident, they're gonna take a lot of space. They're gonna openly move their arms. This is gonna be their space. When they're not confident about something, this is very normal human behavior. They're gonna try and make themselves minimize. They're gonna touch their leg. They're gonna play with their hair. They're gonna touch their earlobes. They're gonna do this with their things. They're gonna, do stuff like this with their hands. Well, he can't do that because he has one hand on the microphone. But yeah, he is visibly uncomfortable about this. That is for sure.
Anything before, Bill?
He's not even... You can tell from this that he's not even looking the guy in the eyes. He's just looking away. Whatever this is... Man, that show must have been a disaster.
There was all these other nice things on your IMDb page I could have brought up, but I noticed this one glaring thing that you've never done.
Sure, maybe the interviewer could have rephrased the question to, how different is writing comedy on a show versus on stage? It was pretty clear this guy was not trying to offend him. The same thing can be said about this interviewer.
Here in the MLB Fan Cave hanging out with actor-comedian Bill Burr.
I like that you said actor-comedian.
Well, I usually go
comedian.
actor. Look, dude, if you saw my IMDb page, you'd definitely know it was comedian actor.
I don't... Do people care about the IMDb pages, honestly, though?
Sure, yeah, it's a quick read.
After all, Bill admits himself that he
comedian.
had a hard time understanding people's intentions throughout his whole life, which usually led to anger or jokes. If someone was really nice, I would just be like, get away from me. If someone was an asshole, it's like, oh, that seems familiar. For whatever reason, I don't like being complimented. Well, fortunately for Bill, he didn't have to worry about being complimented on this next one, because he made enemies with the
That doesn't sound like trust issues. That sounds like a self-esteem issue, honestly, more the way that this was said. Interesting.
The entire city of Philadelphia after they relentlessly booed him during his set. While Bill was developing as a comedian in the 90s and early 2000s, he gained some notoriety on Comedy Central Presents and through regular appearances in
Dave
the Chappelle
Chappelle!
Show. But many attribute a large jump in Bill's popularity to the Opie and Anthony radio show, where he's regularly been a guest over the years. In 2006,
I have heard the name Opie and Anthony radio show, but I have no idea what that is. Absolutely zero clue. Is it something really good? Well, I guess probably it's good.
Opie and Anthony show regulars were on the traveling virus comedy tour, such as Tracy Morgan, Bob Saget, Ralphie May, and Patrice O'Neal, to name a few.
Man, you forget that Bob Saget is an actual comedian, huh, sometimes?
The tour was very successful, with the second show in the lineup breaking Jay Leno's record for the most tickets sold for a comedy show at New Jersey's PNC Bank Arts Center.
Ooh, nice.
However, the third show in Camden, New Jersey, just across the Delaware River from Philadelphia,
New Jersey's a shithole. It's fine.
Didn't go nearly as well. The drunk and unruly Philly crowd on a hot afternoon outdoor show set the tone by booing the opening act off stage. They'd continued to behave poorly and on the verge of booing the rest of the night, as those who had yet to perform were dreading their set. Tracy Morgan gave up 7 minutes into a 20-minute set. Bob Saget and Patrice O'Neal did well, but Bill wasn't having it with this crowd. He got defensive on behalf of his comedian friends, which led to an all-out roast session from the beginning.
Oh, f all you people. You know what, you f***ing losers? I hope you all f***ing die, and I hope the f***ing Eagles never win the Super Bowl. Go f*** yourself.
Oh yeah, he wasn't holding back.
That's funny.
Let's talk about...
Wait, he's not... Okay. You know what? When I watch these Patrick CC videos, I'm always wondering, is he just creating a storyline or is there something deeper? Because just from this, because this ties in perfectly. Right here, when he talks about if someone was being really nice, I would be like, get away from me. That's not necessarily trust issues, but you know, no matter how you choose to quantify this, it is 100% the situation that this guy clearly doesn't have a lot of people that he's gonna call friends, okay? He has acquaintances, he has people he knows, but there's probably not a lot of people that he calls friends. So, these comics, probably he calls them friends. He considers them friends. And there's not a lot of people in the world he does that to. So, when you're offending them en masse, one time that's probably fine. But if you're offending all of them, yeah, he probably has serious issues with that because his circle of people that he, you know, calls friends is very, very small, most likely. I don't know if Patrick CC does this on accident, but you know, whatever.
Set. Tracy Morgan gave up 7 minutes into a 20-minute set. Bob Saget...
never win the Super Bowl. Go f*** yourself.
Oh yeah, he wasn't holding back.
Let's talk about heart disease, something you're all gonna f***ing die of, and I'm gonna laugh at your f***ing funerals. It's gonna be...
Hey, he just fed the whole of America, ain't that shame?
Great. You're all gonna get f***ing cancer, which is fantastic, because all your f***ing heads are shaved anyways. No one's even gonna notice.
If you can believe it, it gets so much worse. Every minute that goes by, he
That's
decimates
great.
every possible thing about Philadelphia. He says if there was a terrorist attack on Philly, nobody would care.
Rocky is your hero. The whole pride of your city is built around a f***ing guy who doesn't even exist.
A man interrupts him from the crowd. Bill responds.
What do you have to say, sir? Never passed the f***ing 8th grade. What brilliant shit are you gonna f***ing tell me, huh? Go back to the dock and go unload some shit. You f***ing warehouse working, weed smoking, f***ing disappointment for your mother.
Obviously, most people were offended, but others started to respect his determination to fight an entire crowd of angry people.
That's pretty good, though.
7 motherfucking minutes left.
Wow.
And I'm doing all f***ing 7.
As the minutes count down, the insults progressively get more bleak, until the end where he says he wishes he had a weapon to use on every single person in the crowd, and in some backwards twist of fate, they loved it. And
wait, isn't he like not a guns guy though? Isn't he one of those who advocates constantly for the removal of guns? I may be mistaken because I know nothing about Bill Burr, you know, just saying. Just literally saying. I actually know nothing about Bill Burr. I didn't even know he's an actually comedian. I thought he's just, like a guy, I guess. I'm not even sure what I thought about this.
Cheered for him as he quadrupled down on his hatred towards them while walking off stage.
Listen, I'm out of time. You guys were here, man. Thank you very much. All of you go yourselves. Have a good night.
Bill single-handedly destroyed everything the city of Philadelphia loves, and they cheered for him as he left the stage.
Does that include the Philadelphia cheese that they don't even make or create?
This rant made national headlines. Bill's fame leveled up immensely, but he claims it didn't help him sell more tickets. It definitely stamped his persona of being an unruly jerk with a short temper that will say literally anything that is on his mind. In retrospect, Bill believes he was unprofessional and threw gas on the Philly crowd fire. He doesn't regret it, but he never wanted people to think that he is just a shock jock with a loud mouth. He spent the next decade proving to the world that he is actually an artistic comedian who is just a tad bit savage at times. And he did his best trying to be sensitive during his interview with Ethan Klein, but eventually he ran out of patience.
Okay. I think I have heard about this, even though I never cared. Dude, if Ethan Klein is in the headlines, I don't even care to actually check why that is. So, I don't know what this is, but I think... it's something... Dude, if there's a 10 out of 10 destroyer situation, that must be this one, right?
Ethan Klein
Fingers
is one
crossed.
half of the H3H3 duo with his wife Ela. Ethan developed a...
I mean, if his wife was a single half, that would be amazing. I think she's like 0.3%, the 0.3 parts of a human, honestly. I'm still waiting for people to give me a video clip of her where she strings two sentences together, and those sentences are not 2 words each. There is absolutely no way Hila Klein is not mentally deficient.
A reputation on YouTube over the years for being a hilarious reaction channel. He created iconic skits and bits that are worthy of being considered YouTube Hall of Fame. In short, people thought he was funny. But while sitting across from a comic legend on the H3 podcast, Ethan was nervous.
You know what I mean? If you went to...
Oh, look at that. This is before he became fat and miserable also. Damn.
Was nervous.
You know what I mean? If you went to whatever Comic-Con of podcasting, would you be nervous?
Yes.
All right. Well, you're an apprehensive
talking
person.
to a nervous guy.
I'm so neurotic. I am nervous. I'm nervous right now.
Okay.
Very nervous.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to help.
How do you?
Despite this, Ethan remained pretty smooth for the first hour, but he would interrupt Bill a lot.
I don't know. I mean, you're right. You're really.
I mean, he's doing this. I mean, how much? What does that do? You need.
So you got this kicked out of you for a while.
So it's OCD.
You're kind of looking. Oh, yours? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to diagnose you. I have no idea.
You could tell Bill was getting increasingly more frustrated when he would be trying to answer a question, then Ethan would just say, right, and try to finish his answer for him. However, things got really awkward when...
Seems about right, honestly.
When Ethan started pressing a question that Bill did not want to answer.
It seems like you're in love with your daughter, hearing you talk about her on the podcast.
Jesus Christ. Well, you're pretty perceptive. Seems like you care about your own child. You also had a zillion kids, so I mean, yeah.
Really? How many siblings do you have?
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will somehow
by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it. Is there any way you can cut this out? I'm honest, dude. Like,
seriously?
Yeah, no, dude. There's fucking lunatics out there.
Okay.
Whoa.
Off the air, I'll cut it.
That was probably the only logical sentence that she said. Okay. Bro, I can't.
Off the air, I'll cut it.
All right.
Jeez. I love how surprised he is. Jeez.
Well, you can mention the amount.
Absolutely crazy people out there.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't want to answer a question, a good podcaster would probably just skip right over it and move.
Yeah, dude. It's an interesting video, but the victims of Bill Burr, I don't know.
On. To give Ethan the benefit of the doubt, he was still pretty new to podcasting. Ethan clearly thought Bill's reasoning for not answering the question was silly, but some people genuinely take their privacy seriously. Ethan saying, geez, comes off extremely childish and will make someone with a short temper blow a fuse. Bill held it together for the most part, but his patience was running out.
When you were getting booed by Thousands of people
I was
in
hoping
Philly.
you were. I was like, when you said my favorite
don't-
YouTube video, I was like, oh God, not the Philly thing again. And then you did the Sherry's Berries. I was like, I love this podcast. Now I hate you.
Oh no.
I love. What can I do? I love that.
I'm joking. I'm fucking with you. Go ahead, let's do it.
But
Let's do it.
No, I'm not gonna ask you.
Were bullet. You've been moved before.
You've talked about this a lot.
Probably more than the grape lady.
What is a grape lady?
I didn't
Yes.
realize.
No, but go ahead. Let's do it.
Well,
Let's
now
do it.
I frankly,
I like making you. I like making you.
skip it.
I like making you uncomfortable.
Again, this subject was something Bill did not want to talk about, and when he called Ethan out on it, Ethan got defensive. Nevertheless, Bill talked about the Philly incident, and he wasn't happy about it.
Well, I love that moment.
Yeah, obviously
I love
after
everything
doing
you do.
this.
The great.
This is how you turn it around. This is how you turn it around.
Bruh, he's not even actually facing him. He's just like this. Jeez. Wow.
Did you uncomfortable now? You fucking sit here and compliment me.
I almost made it feel dumb, making an ass of myself. I got so close.
What are you talking about? I had a great time.
I did too. I really did.
I hope you did. I'm worried about you.
I
Thank
did.
God you got.
I'm playing it up. I'm playing it up.
All right.
But I'm trying to be funny, but
This was just an hour of Bill Burr shattering Ethan's ego when an online joker meets a real comedian. This situation was very similar to the Theo Von episode. On the surface, these awkward podcasts with Ethan and Theo seem harmless. Bill is just being himself and ends both pods saying he had a great time. But it negatively affected Ethan more than...
No, he obviously... Well, yes, you expect... Yeah, he needs to be a really big idiot to go to something like this out of his free will and then said, "No, this was the most horrible thing." Yeah, that's probably a bad way to do things. He obviously knows it.
Than you'd imagine. Many people called Ethan too sensitive.
And after that episode with Bill Burr, I came home, and that's when I started taking antidepressants, and I went to therapy. It was soul crushing. It felt like a rock bottom.
Ah, man! Does someone tell him, you know, I think, what was it, England who had the official, you know, page where you can insert your body measurements, like, you know, 5'3" weighs 5 billion pounds, and then it tells you how long the rope needs to be? Someone needs to tell him that this exists. I was having a hard time with the
podcast and interviews in general, and that for me was just kind of like the culmination of a lot of stress.
And that this was a reality check considering all the people he had made fun of over the years. But Ethan had Bill back 1 year later, and it went great. However, there was one time where it seemed like Bill was the one who was genuinely uncomfortable around an interviewer. A small production called Southside Steve TV on 100.5 Rock Radio interviewed Bill in 2008. Bill was immediately put off by the man's weird style and country attire, sizing him up.
I don't know. I don't think these clips show the true face of this. For example, in this clip, is it awkward? Well, yeah, he's pushing into things that he doesn't want to talk about, and he doesn't want to talk about it. That's kind of it. In Theo's situation, they're not hitting it off, and these are the worst situations. The H3, I'm gonna rate a 6 out of 10, I guess. Also, not the worst situation ever.
Up immediately. Steve made a critical error, asking a comedian to tell a joke during an interview.
So I figure I toss you a mic and you go.
And I'm going to do stand-up in front of 9 people in a radio station? No, I'm not doing that.
Well, you're taking the fun out of Southside Steve TV.
How about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance and I'm a racist cowherd.
I don't know how to line dance, dude.
Okay.
It's hard to tell whether Southside Steve is just a character or if he actually is just obnoxious and clueless.
Okay.
Are you a racist?
No, I'm not a racist.
But Bill always makes sure to get a few jabs in.
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
Bill jokingly said that this was the worst interview he has ever done.
Okay.
And in true Bill fashion, he did an interview years later and bonded with the man.
That last video we did, a lot of people thought that like I was seriously upset with you.
No. By the way, it doesn't seem that hot. It's just... I don't know anything about this man, but from everything I see, it's just like, okay, if you want to be okay with him, just don't push him on things where he blatantly says, "I don't want to talk about this." That's kind of it. Bill Burr seems like the most easy, non-complex person to understand ever from what I'm seeing currently. It's just if you want to be enemies, go ask him about things that he doesn't want to talk about. If you don't push him, and you're fine.
At least on YouTube. I can't believe that there's morons on YouTube that didn't believe that I was having a good time.
You think that we're not friends? You think we don't walk away from this and hug it out? I like this guy.
Just because he has a NASCAR accent and I sound like some prick from Boston,
exactly,
doesn't mean we can't find a common ground.
Yet despite all of Bill's roasts, jokes, laughing at people, he hates when people make fun of comedians. Kill Tony is a live comedy show that takes place every week in Austin, Texas. The show is hosted by comedians Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redban, who invite a celebrity guest, which is typically famous comedians, to join their panel. The premise of the show is simple: invite aspiring comedians on stage to do a 1-minute set, then roast them for how bad they are in front of a live crowd. For some people, it's their first time doing comedy. Others have been doing it for a few years. And as you can imagine, most of these sets are boring, unfunny, lacking structure, and result in awkward, loud silences from the crowd. Everyone participating in the show understands the structure, and they look at it as constructive criticism for the comedian. Theoretically, it will make them better and let them develop thicker skin. However, when Bill came on the show, he wasn't familiar with the format, and after the first guest, he hated it.
Just compliment someone, put it in the context of a joke, and an idiot will make a fool of himself. Sorry. How much time do I have left?
Wow, it's a really casual set for you, huh? Maybe not.
You would have picked one guy. You would have done that. We were shitting on him. He thought it would work. It didn't work.
Yeah.
This is fucking brutal. Is this going to be an hour of this? I don't want to do this to people. It's fucking horrible. Nobody can be funny in
That's good,
minute.
though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it happens.
Fucking 2 seconds.
Oh, it happens a lot. Jesse just took a real bullet there.
Fuck this. You don't even... Fuck this. This is stupid. It's stupid. You're fine. You're fine.
Bill quickly tried to console the guy and shifted the negativity and jokes towards Tony.
There's one more, and then I'm out. All right? There's another one, mean, just to be fucking mean. I'm not doing this for fucking... Trying to bring it up here.
I love it. Jesse, you did so bad, one of our guests is about to quit. I don't know what else to tell you.
Oh, if there's a negative lining, Tony will find it. There it is, right between the ray of sunshine. There's that little nugget of negativity. You fucking...
That's it.
Smarmy.
That's good.
Then Bill was trying to give genuine advice to the comics.
Yeah, I would just say, just slow down a little bit.
Okay.
Just slow down a little bit, and just the more you do your jokes, the more they'll come off natural. I would just slow down a little bit.
Okay.
Cool. That's it. It's not a threat. It's just,
But when one of the aspiring comics actually had a good set, Bill decided to give him a few jabs.
Like what's the government?
This dude's a fucking psycho, man. This guy is gonna get his own show, and he's gonna be a lunatic. Like, he has no remorse, no guilt.
That's
no
good, though.
Responsibility for your own actions. You're a fucking dirtbag, man.
For the next hour, Bill barely said anything. You could tell he didn't like the format and just kind of sat painstakingly through the entire show. Now 7 years later, Kill Tony is at its peak. They are more popular than ever and have had a broad range of massive celebrities come on, yet Bill...
Isn't Joe Rogan constantly talking about the Kill Tony thing? I think I have heard it from him, and he's constantly mentioning it.
Burr never returned. Although at times he is aggressive, intimidating, and quick to reveal uncomfortable truths, his jokes are a sign of showing love. He's actually...
the guy's just autistic. Let's leave it at that and call it a day. Anyway, that was an interesting video. I don't know. It's like... The Theo is a 5 out of 10, and the Eden Klein situation is a 6 out of 10. I don't even know how we're supposed to rate this awkwardness. Kind of feels like the impossible challenge here, figuring out is how awkward things are just from these small snippets that don't mean anything. Like the Joe Rogan one is just nothing. I don't know, maybe I need to see the full episode, but I think I have seen a Theo episode. It's like, it doesn't seem that, yeah, at times it doesn't seem like they're having super good chemistry, but they always save it at the end when it almost becomes awkward, too much to handle in that case. I don't know. Anyway, this is Because There's Said. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.